I've got to recognize somebody tonight. She's been coming around here since before I was mayor. Not you, John. But it's somebody's birthday today, and it's Emma Pennington's birthday back here in the middle. I wanted to embarrass her tonight, but happy birthday, Emma. There's no doubt about it. All right, if everybody could stand, please. Christians, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Brian, would you like to lead us in the invocation, please?
Heavenly Father, we thank you that we're able to gather here tonight, Lord. And Lord, thank you for the service that we had yesterday and many other gospel churches in St. Albans, Lord, and celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, Lord. We pray for protection throughout our community, Lord. And Lord, those people that just cause strife in St. Albans, Lord, I pray you convict them and have them repent. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, we'll call this council meeting to order for Monday, April 1st, 2024. All right, praise and recognition. First, I want to bring up one of our gubernatorial candidates, a gentleman I've got to know over a period of time. I've known his mother for a long time. My oldest daughter and Moore's sister used to play volleyball against each other, and but I'm going to bring him up right now to speak because he has a meet and greet over at the TAP at 7 o'clock. So, Moore Capito.
Thank you, Mayor. I probably know better to turn my back on the mayor, but I'm turning my back. Where do you stand?
Anywhere you want. You can face
I'm going to
those
stand
guys.
and block him out.
Yeah.
Especially if there's cameras here.
Yeah.
But no, thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. It's good to be in St. Albans. Of course, this is close to home for me. The mayor was talking about my sister playing volleyball, with his daughter, but I'll date myself here. I used to come to St. Albans as a kid to get my tail whipped in basketball by Brett Nelson and then in football by Jason Rader. So that's about sort of my area. And I was very proud to represent St. Albans for 6 years in the state legislature. In fact, a funny campaign story. Everybody, when they're campaigning, especially, at the state level and county level and city level, they go knock doors, right? So, well, to get your first real door knocking experience for yourself, go to St. Albans. It's great. You can hit a lot of doors and get around and, talk to people. And I said, okay, great, beautiful day, Saturday, walk out, beautiful neighborhood. And somebody said, after 5 hours, I got on the phone, they're like, okay, how many doors did you hit in St. Albans? I said, about 20. They said, 20? You were out there for 5 or 6 hours. I said, I know. I went into everybody's house and we sat down. They said, rule number 1, don't go into people's house if you're not going to knock enough doors. But I say that because it's just a real testament to this community, a community of strength, and really, I think, resembles what's special about West Virginia, that we are hospitable people that take care of one another, that want to see each other succeed, and really want to learn and listen to what others have to say. I'm a lifelong West Virginian. I'm the father of 2 kids. We've been running for governor now for 15 months. I served for 7 years in the House of Delegates before that. We've made some great changes on the state level. And in 2024, I think that we have a real opportunity to take West Virginia to the next level. We have been at this running every single day, like the election is tomorrow, because I think that our children's future is worth it. We've driven 80,000 miles crisscrossing the state, and all we've really been doing is just showing up and listening. Not a lot of talking. Because I believe that the answers are in our communities. And I will run as your governor and be your governor exactly like I am as this candidate, and that is in the communities and with the people. A lot of people like to campaign through your mailbox. A lot of people like to campaign on your TV, and we'll do all that good stuff. But I'm a firm believer in being on the ground and having those face-to-face conversations, because I think you and every West Virginian should know their governor and feel comfortable telling them how we solve the problems of tomorrow. The three things I think that we have to do to take West Virginia to the next level is number one, public safety. We heard about it a little bit earlier in the invocation. I was proud to be the author of the bill that banned sanctuary cities in the state of West Virginia. People said, why would you ban sanctuary cities? We're not even a border state. I said, the heck we're not. Every single state in this nation right now is a border state. Look at what these drugs have done coming up from our southern border. So I'm proud to have done that in West Virginia. As governor, we will make sure that anybody that's pushing fentanyl on the streets of West Virginia goes to prison for life. They need to be off of our streets and never come back. We know that this drug problem is cyclical, so we need to take them out and make sure they never come back because they're sucking more and more. Same thing with human traffickers. Education. We have to change the way that we think about education. I've got a 6 and an 8-year-old, and they're coming through an educational system that I hope when they reach the high school level has been totally changed so that we're no longer saying mindlessly to kids, go to college without a plan. We've got to focus on our career and technical opportunities in West Virginia so that we're building a workforce that's ready to work after high school. And if they want to go on to college, great. But I'll share with you one of the stories that I had in Logan with a young kid that was in a plumbing program. I said, what are you doing here? And he said, I like working with my hands and I want to make money. And I thought, what better mindset could we have than that in the youth of our country? And we have it right here in West Virginia. And then he told me a joke. He said, let me tell you my plumber joke. He said, the homeowner calls the plumber on the phone. He says, the pipe's busted underneath. And I'll wrap up, I promise. I'm pushing on time.
You're good.
He said, the pipe's busted underneath my sink. I need you to come over and fix my pipe. He said, okay. The plumber says, all right, I'll be there tomorrow. And I'll be there at so-and-so hour. And he goes, it costs this much an hour for me to fix it. And the homeowner had sticker shock on the other side of the line. He said, gee, Christmas, you cost more than a lawyer. He said, and the plumber said, I know, I used to be one. And it was just, I think it was emblematic of the way that we need to think about career opportunities in West Virginia. We're not telling the story. We have incredible energy assets, and we've got to use them in West Virginia. We've been powering this country for a century, and we'll do it for another century as your governor. I can promise you that. The future of this state is personal to me, and I know I share that with every single one of you. Of course, I want your vote, and I'm asking for your vote. But I'm telling you, whether you vote for me or not, I work for you, and I will work for you. And I am committed to ensuring that West Virginia goes to that next level that we all know that it can. So thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. It's great to be back in St. Albans. And I wasn't told this, but my favorite delegate is Wall Hall, of course. So he took my seat straight too.
One clap.
Yeah, he's a standing ovation for himself. Thank you. God bless you all. Appreciate it.
Hey, to everybody in this room, we put information out, but if you got questions or anything, go to the tap, man. This guy's open. He'll talk to you. He'll be honest about his answers, so feel free to go over there after the meeting tonight. And we're doing things a little bit differently today because these guys got to get over there. But the next person I'm going to bring up, again, a gentleman that, like Moore, not only have we become friends, but we are colleagues. He has represented St. Albans in the House of Representatives and as a senator for several years. And he has fought for us, and he will continue to do so. He's running for re-election as a senator in District 17. All right, Eric Nelson.
You got
more than welcome, brother.
You got 5 minutes.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Mayor. My name's Eric Nelson, and I've been quite honored to serve in the House and the Senate. Gosh, it's 14 years now. And all 14 has included St. Albans. And it has been a real joy working with the mayor and all of you all in City Council. I mean, it is a true community here that one has to be proud of. As the mayor said, I am running for re-election to the state Senate. And part of that is to build on the accomplishments that we have done in the last 6, 8, 10 years, really. From the economy, we have more jobs coming in. The economic growth, there's more to do. We had the largest tax cut in state history last year, a little over 21%. On the education front, we brought in additional school choice, and we're focusing on early child care for our kids. We can't do enough there. Healthcare, we've looked to expand our opportunities and lower costs in many ways for our seniors. And then infrastructure. We have put in a lot of money as it relates to roads and broadband. You all have done a lot here in the city. But we've got more to do in each of those areas, and that's a big reason why I'm looking to run for re-election. It's not going to be easy, it never is, but I would ask for your support and your vote, and thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right, we got one more individual we want to bring up, and then we'll get into the city business. This gentleman is running for Division 8 Circuit Court Judge. I've heard a lot of great things about him. I met him this evening, but Eric Cantrell.
I want to thank Mayor James for giving me the opportunity to come down here and introduce myself. My name is Eric Cantrell. Like he said, I'm running for Circuit Court Judge. Legislature saw fit last year to add an extra seat here in Kanawha County. We've only ever had 7 judges, but due to the issues that we've had, the drug epidemic that's going on, these abuse neglect cases that keep rolling in, saw fit to add this 8th spot, and that's what I'm running for. So it's something that all of Kanawha County will be voting for. I get to ask this question a lot. There's 8 divisions, but all 8 divisions are up for election to all the citizens of Kanawha County. So when you walk in, you're going to have a long list of these nonpartisan judicial elections. You got magistrates, family court judges, Supreme Court justices, and then you have these 8 circuit judges. But about me, I've been an assistant prosecutor working for you here in Kanawha County for the last 16 years. In that time, I've done a little bit of everything. I handled misdemeanor cases, I've done juvenile cases, done a lot of felony cases. Right now, I present cases to the grand jury for indictment. So there isn't a lot that goes on in the office that in 16 years I haven't been a part of. And I felt like whenever this opportunity came up for this new spot, and I looked at it, it's like I've been paid for 16 years by you to get the experience I needed to be in the courtroom on a daily basis, to hear these cases, to hear these issues that we're facing, and that's been the perfect training for a person to step in as judge and hit the ground running from day one. And that's the kind of experience I bring. Whenever you're making that selection, I hope you consider that. That the experience that we need in Kanawha County is somebody that's heard these criminal cases, heard these juvenile cases, and cares about the kids that we have that find themselves in this system that's a result of all these issues that have been going on. But I know that I met with Chief Gilbert on Monday. The St. Albans has got an excellent police station here now. There's a lot of good things going on. My daughter was here on Friday with her friends and enjoyed the nighttime Easter egg hunt at the park. They had a great time there. So there are all kinds of good things going on. We're going to be coming down, knocking on doors, like Mr. Capito said, and getting to meet people. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to stop down here today and let you put a face with the name before you start seeing the signs and everything. I appreciate it, and would appreciate your support.
And we do have one more. This individual represents some of the 25177 zip code. Nitro. He is an educator. All right, and he is running for re-election as a delegate. All right, and he's done some good things. If I call Andy about an issue dealing with cities, he's always right there backing us, and I appreciate that. But Delegate Andy Chandler.
I have to come up here because that's what the other 2 people did.
Yeah.
I came here 2 years ago. I was running for office against an incumbent, and I couldn't thank Mayor James and Walter Hall and everyone on the city council who supported me. I can't say that I represent you directly unless you live in Arbor Land Acres or Chemical City, and if you live there, you're probably not at this council meeting, but I do have 2 St. Albans precincts. And when Moore talked about Walt being his favorite delegate, I think geography has something to do with it. Because if Moore comes to Nitro, I might move up on that list. And I won't say anything about the current ownership of the bridge because of where I'm at. Right?
Well, we appreciate that, Andy. I mean, you know, every blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then, okay?
But always willing to work with you all, and I appreciate the support. I also have one more thing in common with Walt. I don't want to have too much in common with him, but we both are running unopposed. So if you were wanting change in the 59th or 58th district, you'll have to wait at least 3 years. So,
And you're on city council.
and I'm also on the
City
Nitro City Council across the river from you all. So, and I do appreciate everything that city councils and mayors do, as Scott alluded to. Local officials cannot get away from their constituents because their constituents are their neighbors, their friends, their family members. And I've always liked the Thomas Jefferson quote, "The government closest to the people governs the best."
Yes, sir.
So, and I know that Senator Nelson and my former colleague, the chair of the Judiciary Committee, which I served on, also share and value that statement as well. So appreciate your time, appreciate everything that you do. Thank you.
Got questions? Most of these folks are going to be over the tab, so, you know, head over afterwards. All right. More praise and recognition. I want to talk about, we received through the WDA a $1.2 million matching grant because City Council, or MUC and City Council had the vision to approve $1.2 million of the ARPA funds to go towards a new water tank on the east end of town. I thank the governor's office and the WDA for that. We have received 2 really nice earmarks, and I'm going to plug Moore's mom through Senator Shelley Moore Capito's office, $150,000 to improve the technology at the St. Albans Police Station. And we also received a $2.873 million, I call them earmarks, but it's called congressionally directed spending for the Ramshorn storm drain system, which is on the west end of town. So we're excited about that, and I thank everyone. If I started naming names, I'm sure I would forget somebody, but I thank everyone for their participation and help in receiving these grants. Praise and recognition.
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to thank Mike Beljudas, our attorney, for working with CSX diligently for us to get the sale of Kirk Field done and a closing date set of August the 26th to 2024, and it could come sooner. But all the work he did helped us get to where we are now. Thank you, Mike.
Any other Councilman Massey?
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out to Kevin and all the people at the Parks Committee for a wonderful new Easter 2-night festivities. The teenagers on Friday night and the little kids on Saturday. Those are the most fun. They just have no illusions. They're just after it. So it's really good. But Kevin and them put a wonderful program together, and Scott Tweedy and everybody involved with that, and I want to shout out to them.
Thank you.
Now wait a minute, I do gotta say one thing. The Easter Bunny was up there, and the guy that just gave a shout out to Parks and Rec, he was the Easter Bunny, so Roger Maxey. Yes, Councilman Hall, Delegate Hall, whatever.
There we are. I'd like to give a positive shout out to the fellows at the St. Albans Chamber and Debbie Austin Brown and the Albans Arts Academy for putting together a great forum of panelists and the candidates that are running for our offices here in the city of St. Albans last Friday night. It was very well organized, it was very well attended, it was very informative. Thank you all for those groups.
Praise and recognition.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Chief Gilbert for the blood drive today.
Blood drive over at St. Albans
Police
PD.
Department.
Thank you. Any other praise and recognition? All right. If anybody has to go because of the situation at TAP, feel free to do so. We're not going to get upset about that. We'll see you over there. We also have a Fair Housing Month proclamation. We don't need any action on this or anything, do we? Everybody got a copy of that in their packet, so has anybody got any questions or discussion on that? All right. Approval of minutes from City Council, March 18th, 2024.
So moved.
All right, do we have any questions or discussion on that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Rusty Webb texted me yesterday. Him and his wife had something come up. Couldn't be here tonight, so he'll be here at the next council meeting 2 weeks from tonight. All right. New business. Don't have any suggested ordinance issues. Don't have any. Ordinances first reading. Don't have any. Ordinances second reading. Don't have any. Finance Committee report and recommendations. Councilman Roberts, you got a lot to read there.
Yeah, I got 8 of them, so everybody bear with me here. All right, the motion, approval of payment of current invoices in the amount of $20,946.23.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Next, an approval for a letter of intent to apply for a grant with 50% match for the turfing of city park ball fields in the amount up to $250,000 to be paid from the ARPA funds.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
I have a question. I'd like to make an amendment to the current motion that's on the floor now. I'd like to add 2 options. The first option, if the grant we are currently pursuing is approved for $250,000 matching funds, we will turf the 2 fields at City Park, girls softball field and Coleman Field. And contingent on the purchase of Kirk Field from CSX, we will turf Kirk Field, total of 3 fields. Option 2, if the grant is not approved, we will turf the girls softball field at City Park and Kirk Field, contingent on the purchase of Kirk Field from CSX, using the $250,000 ARPA funds previously voted on and approved by this council. And I'd like to ask for a roll call vote.
We got, it's a motion.
We got a second.
Yeah.
We got a second. Ally. Ally and Brian about the same time, so we'll flip the coin. All right, questions or discussion on the amendment? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Didn't need a roll
Didn't
call,
need a
so
roll call.
very
Very
good.
good.
So the amendment's there.
Good.
All right, so with the amendment, on the original motion to approve a letter of intent to apply for a grant with a 50% match, which we're going to continue to apply for, all right? But, you know, there's no guarantees on the grant, and the problem is, as soon as the season is over, we want to start turfing fields. So they'll be ready for fall ball and next year, all right? Do
I don't think you have a second.
vote on the original?
I don't think you have a second.
Huh?
Did I hear a second?
For yours?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Alan.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ally
I'm
was
sorry.
second. All right, so on the original motion, approval for a letter of intent to apply for a grant with a 50% match for turfing the city park ball fields in an amount up to $250,000 to be paid from ARPA funds, including the amendment that was voted on by city council unanimously. All in favor say aye.
He asked for, yes, he asked for a.
It's already passed.
It's already passed.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, next, a motion of an approval and payments to Advanced Auto Parts in the amount of $2,892.74 for a motor replacement for one of the Parks Department's trucks to be paid from line item 975-459.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Now, something I'm going to talk about here real quick is the state has raised the bid level this past year, am I correct?
Yes.
We have to look at raising our minimum level to be approved, because $2,499 doesn't go anywhere like it used to. So I just wanted to plant that seed for Finance Committee and Council to think about in the future, okay? All right, Councilman Roberts.
Thank you. I think the next is a motion for an approval to seek the bids for St. Albans Police Department armored vehicle and opioid funds.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
Yeah,
All
I
in-
got one. Where's Chief still here?
Chief,
Yeah, they're on board.
I had two
Do we
hands
have
pop
a
around.
super need for an armored personnel carrier? Is things that bad?
We recently worked a 3-month investigation where we used pole cams watching a suspect's house. An AR-15 was carried into the house and never came out. When we went to raid the house, we pulled up in a Dodge minivan with 3rd row seating. So he opens fire in the bedroom window. The guys in the back aren't getting out. So I would say, we have the
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We hope we never have to. But in that situation there, if somebody started firing from the 2nd story window or whatever, our guys were done for.
Well, we hope that it'll never be a necessity.
Right.
But if you have a school shooting, we have nothing to get close enough to the school that won't take rounds. It's all plastic
Where we gonna store that?
at the PD, inside the fence.
Everybody knows his job.
Right.
I like it, Amy. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Next, I'd like to make a motion for an approval of payment to Worldwide Equipment in the amount of $4,178.42 for the purchase of a pressure pump and parts for the Public Works Department to be paid from line item 566-216.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Next, a motion for an approval of payment to Shamlin Stone in the amount of $2,864.56 to be paid to purchase the gravel, limestone, and crusher run for the Public Works Department to be paid from line item 566-341-13.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Next, an approval of payment to Compass Minerals in the amount of $10,855.71 for salt for the Public Works Department to be paid from line item 566-431-15.
Second.
341 dash.
341-15. Hey,
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Questions or discussion?
Gonna get here before the snowball Thursday, young boy?
Yes, we got plenty before the snow falls
Yeah.
Thursday. All right. All right, any other questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
and lastly, a motion for approval of payment to American Asphalt in the amount of $2,857.43 for asphalt for the Public Works Department to be paid from line item 566-341-12. Sorry about that.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay.
That's all, folks.
Motion carries. Let's give Lee a hand. He did a good
Oh,
job.
that's up one time.
All right, letters and reports, Councilman Rucker.
Yeah, real fast, pretty much everybody already hit on, but I'll touch real fast. One thing people left off was the volunteers at the ladies that were up there, and I'm not gonna get into naming names, because inevitably I'll leave a volunteer off, but any of the volunteers that helped out, including the Easter Bunny over here, so. And the folks that come out, man, this year's attendance was phenomenal. For the teenage was a really good number. Had a lot of kids up there, but for the youth Easter egg on Saturday morning, the weather was a huge help, and it was a phenomenal turnout. Really, for all age levels. Usually it dies off really bad at the 10, 11, 12. There were still a bunch of them out there going. So thanks to volunteers and attendance, along with everything else that was mentioned at both those events. Coming up on the 13th, we have the Walk on the Wild Side. That is from 9 o'clock until noon. Looking for the events here. So we have the Birds of Prey will be there, obstacle course for children, sidewalk drawing, wildlife display, aquatic insects, a scavenger hunt, some door prizes. So a ton of stuff for all age groups to come up and enjoy. Debbie does a phenomenal job with this event. It's one of the best events I believe that St. Albans Parks does. Please come up, whether you're a small child, hopefully somebody brings you, or whether you're a senior citizen. There's something for everybody. Oh, and there will be food for sale up there as well. That is the 13th at 9 to 12. One last thing, I'll give further details later, but if you want to mark your calendars, our first music event at Roadside Park will be April 27th. So I'll get further details at the next meeting, but we will have our music played over at that Roadside on that day.
Dave, do you think we or Parks and Rec can create some flyers on Take a Walk on the Wild Side and give them to the schools, or do they already? I think that would increase turnout.
I think they might, but if not, Kevin?
I'm pretty sure we do, but
Okay.
I'll make sure if we want to.
Yeah, I think that would be very good. Hey, guys, I'm telling you what, my grandbabies, and the oldest one's 11, the youngest one's 3, they love it. I mean, it's an awesome time, so enjoy that. All right, anything else, Dave?
No, sir.
Councilman Rose.
I don't have anything for Public Works, but the Answer Center is having a dance this weekend on Saturday from 6 to 8. The band will be Cindy Bird and Dixie Highway. And the Dementia Support Group will be meeting next Wednesday at 3 o'clock at the Answer Center. Next Wednesday is the 10th.
Roger Rob, you gonna be down there at Busted a Move?
Where at?
At the Answer Center.
Yeah, I'll probably be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I had that in mind.
Yeah.
He's taking a band of senior citizens with him.
Yeah. Any other letters and reports? Yes, sir, Councilman Eads.
We have the junior high committee meeting, March 28th. We heard every idea from venues to housing to green space. And our next meeting will be April 25th, 6 o'clock here in the council chamber. We lost Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi over there is not, yeah, we gotta improve on that.
One thing on the Wi-Fi, I talked to Tony, and I had an in with Optimum, so I called them, and they're sending a business representative from Optimum, which we already paid for, not gonna cost us, to come in and see what they can do to
improve
get the Wi-Fi into the main lunchroom or dance room or whatever. So anyway, that's on the schedule, and hopefully it'll happen the next couple of days.
All right, thank you. Any other letters or reports? I got one complaint. Nobody has brought up the fact that when I threw the first pitch out this past Saturday, it Kirk Stadium for St. Albans Little League. It was a perfect strike right down the middle. Mr. Parr, am I correct on that?
I'll second that, yeah.
There you go, man. Nobody brought that up. I can't believe it.
8-year-old glad, Scott.
Yeah.
What was the speed on that ball?
That speed was about probably 38 miles an hour.
Wait a minute.
It was like the Ephus pitch, you know?
I bet it's still running.
Yeah. All right, we don't have any appointments. Announcements. First thing I want to do, guys, we have a fire levy coming up, and we've had a lot of issues between the election and St. Albans Junior High property and turf and fields. We have to get the word out to promote this fire levy. No taxes are going up. It's been around since the 50s. All right? And if it does not pass, St. Albans might not have a full-time fire department. All right? Because we're going to have to lay people off. So it's very important that we vote for the fire levy. Okay? Public Works Committee, Wednesday, April 3rd at 8 a.m. in the city garage. Parks Committee, Thursday, April 4th at 6 p.m. at the Hansford Center. Finance Committee, Monday, April 8th at 4:30 p.m. in the MUC conference room. City Council, Monday, April 15th at 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers. Lay the levy, Tuesday, April 16th at 5 p.m. in the MUC conference room. We must have a quorum. MS4 MUC Board, Tuesday, April 16th at 5:30 p.m. in the MUC conference room. Any other announcements?
Citywide cleanup Saturday.
This Saturday, meet over at
Grace Baptist Temple parking lot from 9 to noon. All youth group, we have 5 youth groups and 65 signed up at this time. And each youth group that participates through parents or students will receive a donation through the foundation. 9 to noon on Saturday.
And the
April
litter
6th.
getters are supposed to be out on Pennsylvania Avenue, are they not?
They're going to come in and get their equipment at Grace Baptist, and then we'll meet at what's that church?
Riverlawn Presbyterian.
Riverlawn Presbyterian. And Chief Gilbert will have police patrol to make sure we have no adults or council members run over.
Hey, and kudos to 25177 and Litter Getters. They beautify our city. It's all volunteers. So, any other announcements? All right, it's now time for public forum. Any resident wishing to address council may step up to the podium. State your name, your address. You got 5 minutes to speak your piece. I can tell you the name. It's Karen Kincaid. I'm not sure of the address.
Well, I live on Mama Street. I want to know who started this thing about wanting to sell the water company to American Water. Because one, I don't want it. I don't want it. Also, when you put that tire up on that mountain, when it rains, you know that creek is going to fill up with mud. Now, I'm being told you can't go under there and clean, you can't get in the creek. Who's responsible for getting that mud out of it?
Yeah, Karen, you can clean the creek, you can't dredge the creek. All right? You got to have special permits to do any dredging because of any endangered species or whatever. I have no idea. But I've got to call in to Greg Belcher, the engineer with Chapman Technical, and we're going to sit down and talk about it. I promise you, it's not going to fill up and cause any additional flooding because we've pretty much eliminated flooding up in that area, all right, over since 2018, all right, and we want to continue that, but we can clean the creek out, we just can't dredge the creek. So we're gonna work on it, and I appreciate you bringing that up, Karen, because that's a wonderful question. Thank you.
Well, I mean, you know, these people around here are thinking you're supposed to sell everything.
Yeah.
This is that. It's age of a town. You know, I involved with the police department, trash, public works, ambulance, fire department. You know, these people are great people. They do not get enough praise in this town.
Thank you very much.
And I mean, they don't.
And you've been here a long time, Karen.
Yeah, I think they all need a raise or something done each and every week. There was something else. I have cancer, so I can't remember my next question. I'll have to write it down the next time I come. But I do want to thank you all for what you're doing, but I will not support the sale of this town's water. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Do we have any other residents wishing? Yes.
I'll pass you things out real quick.
Yep.
Well, no, no.
I'll make this fast. You got your timer going there, Mayor?
No, not yet. I'm gonna wait till you get up to the podium.
Well, I'll finish it off next week if I have, next month if I have. My name's Dan Blevins. I live on South Walnut Street. I came up with some little ideas as far as from what I heard last council meeting. I'm just going to go through the verbatim. Did I give you one, Mayor?
No.
My apologies. That's what make the next one. I never give the mayor. Basically, I was here for the kids. This comes up quite often. We need to take care of them. But what I also hear is about we need equipment and turf for the fields. When we look at the sports, I added 3 of the sports up, and most of them come back with about 110 students for the sports. And if we're just going to support the kids, we have to support everybody. The sports kids is only about 110 students. And there's 1,100 students in St. Albans High School. It's only like 9% of the students. Go ahead.
I think there's more than 100.
That was off of Google.
There's 400.
Grant, how many kids
I don't know. I got
participate
that off
in
of
Little
Google.
League baseball, softball in St. Albans?
Yeah, this spring it's about 340
Okay.
so far.
Okay.
And then we do fall too.
And St. Albans' student population is
850.
very low. It's what, 800 some, or right at 900?
850. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll amend my numbers next time I come to council. But yeah, as far as that is, you have a low percentage of students who benefit from what we said last time about selling the junior high property. Called a windfall of money. Selling the property for one flow of money is a dead-end plan. This planning is one-sided. Basically focused on buying equipment for the students to play sports. It's not for every student or even our community. Mayor said about building housing on this property, same situation. Housing will bring families here, but you're just going to gain property tax and municipal money from that benefit. Really not much there. They're not going to shop here. They're going to go elsewhere. There's really nothing to keep them here and keep them shopping here. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. Number 4, since I'm on time. We need to change our focus from the teams bringing them here to what people want and what they want to do. It's becoming a destination place is what we need to do. Basically a destination city. We've got to look what other cities have done for that, and basically creating an attraction that brings a constant flow of people in instead of one weekend or one time during the month for a festival. We've got to look at something to bring here every single day of the week to go with that, so we have money to fill our money or bank account for the city. Basically, we're not a historical location. We are, but people aren't coming here for history. Shopping, that's self-explanatory. On my thing, you'll see some examples of good places like Easton. And basically, what we need for here, we need entertainment or adventure. We have a city park. I'm jumping ahead here if you're following. We have a city park that we can put things into, which would gain money for the city. I know a while back, zip lining was on the books. Am I correct? Yeah. And it kind of went, I don't know where it went, what fell by the wayside. There are about 70 million zips that happen in this country every year. It's a $3.5 billion industry. We could have had a part of that. Mini golf is one other example. And I did have a cost for mini golf. Mini golf is for everybody. It brings the income again to the city. If we put it in the city park or somewhere else, it'd work out great. Roller rinks I have on here, it's a lot of money.
but that's further down the plan. Roller rinks are making a rebound, attracting millions back into the rink. Startup costs a little high, but like I said, that's future planning. We gotta create money from smaller investments and entertainment for our city. People go to Fayetteville to zip line. What they could do, they come here to do something in our park. One of them that I thought would be really good, it's called a timber trek, also known as a rope challenge course. Basically, if you're ever up to Fayetteville, they have it where you connect to a harness and everything, and it's an obstacle course through the trees. It does bring in good revenue. The lowest startup of all 4 or 6 of those that I've mentioned is $15,000 to $150,000 to put that up. And I do have an actual company that I looked up here that out of Indiana that does this all the time. Again, if we build something like this, people will want to come here. They're not going to come here if you build XYZ business over here. You have to have people come first and then bring in the businesses, and that's what's going to attract businesses to our community if they know the population and people are coming here to do something. Basically, most of them, you know, it's just one of those things. The starting point would be something that doesn't cost the city a lot of money, something we can gain money from, create an entertainment so people come here. Because they go to Fayetteville, they go to Winter Place for entertainment. But that's basically all I have to say. Sorry about my numbers on the school. I just got what was best presented to me from Google.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. All right, do we have any other, Marty?
Just a couple of quick questions. Marty Thomas, Vine Street. On the grants for the turfing, whatever the amount ends up being, up to $250, the 50% match, does that mean we have to come up with 50% of those funds?
Yeah, where we just did that tonight with $250,000 from ARPA funds.
Okay, and then there's another grant to come for $250.
No. If we get 500,000, that turfs all 3 fields.
Oh, that's what that is. So 50% of the two. Okay, I'm with you now.
Up to 250,000. We would be
I read
committed
that.
to.
Thank you. Up to 250. My next question is, what extra information did we get from the May 4th council meeting that made us vote on this evening? Because it was tabled back on May the 4th.
Response by the community.
Response by the community, that was the information that we got?
No, that was, I mean.
Well, let me read here for a second. Councilman Hall moved to table the issue until more information could be received on possible grant funds for turf as well as closing on the purchase of Kirk Field from CSX. Councilman Rickard second and motion carried. So I'm just curious, what other information did we get?
We didn't get any more, but this is a totally different motion that was made tonight versus the table motion the other night.
That was going to be my next
Marty, are
question.
you asking for a question from Councilman Hall or just making a statement?
Just state.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And, well, I do have a comment on what Dan was commenting on. Several years ago, my son and I went to Fayetteville and done the zip line, done the rope things. And on our drive back, we were talking, and my wife included, why don't we do something like that at City Park? I think my wife may have been on council at that time. Well, she did. She got together a turnkey proposal, and this was prior to Mayor James. But she got together a turnkey proposal, everything right down to how much you should charge to do it. And it was a $250,000 turnkey operation that probably would have been already making money in the city. We went to the fire department. They were saying, yes, we could use that for high rescues. We could use it for practice on that. The former police chief was in it, and I can't remember his reasons. We even got the National Guard involved. And they said, yes, we could use it for some sort of training. Insurance, we checked on insurance. It would have been $5,000 more premium on the year. But every year after that, barring no major accidents, it would have come down to almost a minimal insurance. We took it to the mayor, gave him a turnkey package. They had an arborist came in. They questioned the laws. The man that actually wrote the laws for these sorts of things was the man that came in. So we had everything, turnkey operation. I didn't mention it. But we could have been doing that, I don't know what it was, 8, 10, 12 years ago.
And we took it to, my wife and I went to the mayor's office, handed him the proposal, said, read this, get back with us. As far as I know, it went straight to the trash can.
Mayor
It's nothing on you, yeah, Mel Kellogg. But, you know, these things are coming up now, and 10, 12 years ago, we could have already been doing it. We were even told, you know, somewhere along the line, somebody said, not in my city park. For whatever reason, I don't know what that comment was about. But, you know, and I'm not against turfing a field, I just had some questions about that. But anyway, I think that's it for me.
All right, thank you, Marty. Any other speakers in public forum?
Let
Herman?
me just clarify one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Just Marty, the motion to table, in my view, my change, the motion was for, the property at Kirkfield was not in control.
Correct.
The property at Kirkfield as of August will be.
Well, it can happen before that.
Right, and it can happen before that, but the motion that we voted on was to start the grant process for $250,000. We have to get the ball rolling for the factor of time. And property ownership was one of the main reasons for tabling. At that point, I mean, the property ownership is coming around. I'm with you, we should do it with grant money at all possible approach, at all possible approach. And if this one falls, I still think we should try for a second one until the time is not where we can. But, so just to clarify, the property ownership was a factor, big factor.
Yeah, I understood that, but in the minutes, it said more information gathered. I just was curious for what other information, other than the property ownership.
The approaching of a grant and the property ownership.
We got info last week.
And he changed the direction, and speaking with council and the mayor, we were focusing on Kirkfield, which we did not have ownership of, nor was it under contract.
Right.
And we could move to St. Albans City Park, which we do own, and start there, which was his motion in the beginning. And this motion was to move forward with the grant, start at City Park with fields we do own, and if August 26th we close on Kirkfield, that's the third one. But only up to 250,000 was I satisfied and okay, fiscally responsible to this city, that we could use ARPA money to go towards our youth for turf fields, starting with fields that we already own. Third, Kirk Stadium, that's no guarantee. Is that fair?
Yeah, like I said, absent of the ownership of Kirkfield, I was
Correct.
just wondering what other information.
We
was
rearranged the beginning field from Kirk to City Park and moving our way down.
So just a rearrangement of.
And the fact that we're we under ownership of that property at Kirk.
Okay,
in
let's put
August.
Kirkfield aside for a moment.
Mhm.
Let's not even mention Kirkfield. What other information was gathered? Because that's the way it was worded in the minutes.
Well, that was the reason it was tabled.
It's tabled.
Because till we got ownership or word of ownership of Kirkfield, that's why it was tabled. And we got word last week that at the latest date's gonna be August 26th. Could happen much sooner, and our attorney is gonna try to make it happen much sooner. So as soon as the season's over, we can start turfing ball fields. Sorry.
No, it's,
All right, any other public forum? Herm, you sure you don't have anything on? All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor say aye.